I interviewed Gunther Steiner, and he talked about at one point Roger Goodell coming in and talking to the team principals, and maybe talking to leadership in general about what Formula One can learn from the NFL. What are some things that Formula One can learn from now? It used to be baseball, but now football being America's favorite pastime.
Well, I have to laugh. I'm glad Gunter took that up. I invited Roger to come speak to the team principals. He's a
I
friend.
figured.
Yeah, and he was my guest, and I wanted Roger to impart, what has become America's sport, to impart some of the lessons, and most of them around not the promotion side or the how America's embraced it, but really beginning with the structure of the league. Some of the things, the old story about, fight hard on Sunday, but on Monday we're all together. We're trying to raise the league. Formula One didn't have that mentality. It's got some of that mentality, and I'd like to think Liberty, and really particularly the people that, Chase, Kerry, and Stefano Domenicali, who the CEOs have brought in, have done a great job of helping to build that much more mentality. We're all working together. But there are several things that the NFL does which are, I think, critical. One is 75% of the revenue is television that's centralized. Everybody gets the same take. You have to laugh that then the most capitalist of guys are all that create a socialistic sport, which is actually very beneficial. Other things around it, a hard salary cap, strength of schedule, strong teams play strong teams, the draft where the lowest ranking team draws first, and it's very meaningful. All of those have basically worked to create parity and to create rivalry and interest every Sunday in the sport. Or now I guess it's on Thursday nights, Sundays, Mondays, other days, but historically on Sundays. And they've done a great job with it. And we've tried to embrace some of those ideas in Formula One, and it was to try and help bring those team principals and owners further along that continuum.
And the NFL also has done a marvelous job of continually dripping the message, even when they're not playing, or even when there isn't a draft, but there's always some forward-looking marketing going on. Formula One's doing the same thing, isn't it?
Well, we should be so lucky. The NFL is really the paragon in so many ways of what they've done right. And you're right. They've created events out of things. I mean, you mentioned the draft. The draft is now an enormous event. That's stunning. And they do have a little bit of the same problem we do, which is we only have 24 races. They only have 17 games over 18 weekends. This isn't basketball or baseball with massive tonnage and a longer season. So making your fans think about it, and in between those races, in between those games, thinking about what content you can build, what events you can create. That the NFL's done a marvelous job, and we'd like to think we're trying to do some of that. Chase Carey described, he wants to make every one of our races as the Super Bowl when it comes to town, in that country, in that location. And that's what we've tried to do, to build the programming around that.